Yamu, who you are? Me aye Vitali Budo. Amia Yado. Coronavirus is real, man. It's not a joke. This is outside in Craigieburn, Melbourne, Australia. It's winter out here. Not that cold, but still okay for us to come out and showcase our services. You can hear that stupid bird. They call them the magpies. He's always angry when you see people coming out like this because it's on top of the tree. They believe it's his territory. That's why he's shouting. Very useless bird. Yeah, we're just gonna touch bases about what is happening on ground and how the Fulani herdsmen has been disturbing the people of Edo State. And some of my friends have been calling me and writing me that Edo is the most peaceful state in Nigeria, and there's nothing like Fulani herdsmen or security threat in Edo State. And I need to clarify some issues here to make sure people understand the plight of the people, the suffering. You see, when you are on the ground helping people and you be able to know the feelings of the people, and to those governorship aspirants coming out to put on, Mushali, there's a guy who has been sending me unnecessary message from the Talakiwa. See, his name is Extreme, and I think he's gone extreme, and he's been promoting Solomon Debiri. And these are people who say they are engineers that work on pipelines, and we don't have pipelines and no tap water in Benin. And he's an engineer, and even in the street he lives, there's no tap water on it. He did not fit pipe to connect tap waters in anywhere in Benin. And he said he's been helping the nations and he'll be helping the state. I don't know how and I don't know why. When people come online and start promoting people, they don't even check their background. What have they done? You know, it's not about personality. When you come to state, you have to humble yourself. So Gafano Ko Nagi Norway, that is Aso Rock the General. He's based in Italy. So Gafano Ko Nagi Norway because Wanama Guku you Eva and Akbo. But Gafano Ko. Come on, Gafano Ko. Nagagi Norway. Eriwano. But Gafano Ko Nagi Norway. Jafanoko, Oko, the guy is talking about it's a package. If you don't open a package, you don't know what is inside. So that's what that music is saying. Oko means a package. So a package being sent to you, or you receive, or you have to open it before you know what is in there. So a surprising package. So I'm gonna pause the music and then focus on the agenda at hand. But so the question is here. First of all, I need to talk about all the political junkies and political arrivists who has been there in Nigeria. Okay, Edo State is an Ondo State is going to be having direct primary, and the Obaseki supporters and his talk bar squad 4+4, and are scared, and they're saying they want indirect ballot box or indirect campaign, indirect election, which is going to create a lot of mayhem. While the 3+1 says they want a direct election, a direct by-election to determine who gonna hold the flag bearer of the state. As you guys know, I constantly tell people that 4+4, 3+1, or 4+0 is all a strategy. It's a distraction. The main issue we have in the state is security threat to our nations and to the state. As we speak, the Orion Local Government Council is being surrounded by Fulani herdsmen. So let unfold the Oko Mr. Efosa Osayende has been talking about. But I'm not fan on you will not know what's inside. Let's open the bag and see what is inside that bag, because it could be carrying snake, it could be carrying tortoise, it could be a poisonous item. So no one know. Now the Fulani herdsmen has been an issue. You know, I overheard one Combri talk about Edo Specialist Hospital, Edo Central Hospital, as the case may be, because that hospital is in the center of the city. That's why it's called Central Hospital. And the main name is a specialist hospital, but there's ongoing interjection about probing the hospital, how the fund was spent, how the hospital was spent. But that same hospital was headed by Nogeas Godwin Obaseki. He's the one who was the economic team that built the hospital. And he also want to probe it by himself. Is he probing himself, or is he going to probe Shumbule, or probe all the commissioners that partake in the building of that hospital? So we still don't understand. So but the question is this. I keep on telling people that the life we live is what we make out of it. Do not throw stone in the river and expect it not to sink. Do not throw stone in the market and expect to hit other people. You are going to hit yourself. Either you hit your family or your sister or your best friend. That's what you're going to do. But the question is this. We got to be strategic. We got to be specific. There are so many people trying to contest for the governorship in Edo State. We have the like of Isaiah Jamu. We have the like of Dr. Odubu. We have the like of Debiri Solomon, Ogimonyi, and so many of them. And the incumbent governor, the we can see governor, who is also fighting for only him to be the flag bearer. He doesn't want to go to any election. But one thing people don't understand is we have come of age, that there's no more hiki. There's no more hikiki when it comes to election or when it comes to political aspiration or of individuals. Everybody believes they can do it, they can make it. But Edo State or a Benin City is a city that has been neglected for almost over 100 years. Almost over 100 years. Let's put it since independence. Edo has been neglected. Before independence, Edo State was good. Oredo was good. Benin City was good. You know, the question is, why are all these people coming to vie for the position? Can't they come to a consensus? You know, the fact that Obaseki has been fighting to eradicate all the political gurus from the state so he can be the only person speaking for the state has made it clearly to everyone that it's time for him to leave. Now, let's take Oriomo for example. Oriomo is surrounded by Fulani herdsmen. And there's a guy by the name of Vince who has been calling me and telling me that there's no security threat to Edo people. But Oriomo, I'm an Oriomo person. The chairman of Oriomo Local Government Council is from Delta State. They came from Agbo or Igbogiri to come and stay in Umu Nekere, where it happened to be my mother's village. That boy was brought by his mother. He wasn't born in Oriomo. He went to Owe Grammar School. That boy went to Owe Grammar School and became a bicycle repairer at Ugo, New Oriomo. From there, he entered politics. So he entered politics and he's been a campaigner for Odubu. As a result, when they were looking for people to be nominated as the chairman, Odubu nominated him. Then there was the rules. It was still rosy between them in the political arena, because Odubu is the vice governor, was the former vice governor, and he came from Oriomo. So that's how that boy Okoro Sylvester become a local government chairman. I can still recall that he was in Indonesia in 1997 and he could not hustle. We have to buy him a ticket to return him back to Nigeria. So getting to Nigeria, he joined into politics and Odubu nominated him. Because Odubu did not do his own personal background check on that guy and he became the local government chairman. As we speak, Kola Adokpaye, the no-nonsense human rights activist, has been fighting the DSP assigned to the commissioner who is saying that Fulani herdsmen have a right to be living in Oriomo, inside the forest. They are raping mothers, they are raping sisters. At some point, we also know they rape fathers. They eating all the yams, they destroy all the cash crops and everything in Oriomo councils. These are people from Niger Republic. Some of them are from Burkina Faso. They don't speak Nigerian language, any Nigerian language. The outside, they don't speak, they speak French. Most of them don't give a damn. They are all loaded with AK-47. So, for people to be calling me to say there is peace in Oriomo, or people to be sending me message to say, to support and tell the Edo people that there is, Edo is a security free. There's no nuisance. There's no security threat in Edo State. I use the medium to challenge anybody to come up with the fact that there's no Fulani herdsmen in Oriomo Local Council. Oronibe is being destroyed. Ubokoniho, Ubokonumagbai, all these areas that I'm measuring is all loaded with AK-47 Fulani herdsmen. And somebody will come and call me on the phone or send me a message and tell me that there's no security threat to the Oriomo Local Government Council or to Benin. If you are in Benin, if you go to Igun area, you will go and see Fulani herdsmen moving like no man's land. These people, they don't speak English. They don't even speak Edo language. They don't speak no Nigerian language. Some of them go mad on their head. There's no social distancing. This coronavirus that the government is preaching does not reach the heart of these people. They do whatever they want. If you go to any corner of the Edo City, 4 walls of the Edo City, of the Benin City, you will see all these Fulani with machete loaded to strike. at any given point. And somebody will tell you, these people are raping mothers. They will tell you they want to go and work for you in your farm, especially when it's women. These people, you take them to the farm, they will rape the women there, and they will kill these people inside the farm and collect their money. They don't have a home. These people sleep in the street. And these are the people, somebody will send me a message and say, oh, support the government. The government is doing good. And that there's no Fulani herdsmen in Edo State. People should wake. Look, I'm an activist and I don't support injustice. Not just only that, I don't support injustice. I'm a criminologist. So somebody who come and send me such a message should think twice before sending me a message and telling me to support the government. That I come from Morion and my people are dying. There's not even road to even go there to make matter worse. If you're going to Ugo, all these people are adulterated political activists based in Europe that is supporting something that is not good. You should wake up. There's no road to Orion. There's no road. If you're going to Ugo or Abraka, there's no road to go in there. And somebody will tell you that everything is working right. When the Fulani herdsmen is everywhere, killing and shooting and raping people and raping mother. Even some of the activists, the political junkies in Europe that are preaching. Their own village is being fucked up by Fulani herdsmen. They are raping the sisters, they are raping their mothers. And these people will come back so boldly and stay on Facebook and start preaching something they don't understand. If you want to support government, release all his agenda, release all the thing he has been doing. That's how I know politics. If you want to support somebody, tell the people what he has been doing. Unlike the so-called extremist, he called himself in Talakewa, who has been pushing Solomon Edebiri. Edebiri, he said his engineer is doing pipeline. We are no longer interested in any pipeline. If you are a governor coming to stand for a governor, let agriculture be one of your first strategy. You don't come up with pipeline. I'm engineer. We're not eating engineer in Nigeria. Nigeria have all the best engineers in the world. They have the best doctors in the world. They can't manufacture Panadol. If you are an engineer, you can't manufacture. Ask this engineer if he can manufacture a spoke for a bicycle. So I'm an engineer. I'm doing pipeline. Pipeline from where? You don't even have any rubber processing plant. So you are an engineer. You want to come and say this thing? I'll be helping the nation. I'm this. And my brother, we don't want to go extreme that the way you call yourself. And if you don't take time, I will bring that your so-called Solomon Edebiri down to the lowest rank when it comes to politics. When it comes to politics, we are on top of the game. You know, and also the people saying that they were the only people that was campaigning for Sowore from Europe, they should stop. They should not be telling people that we are the only people on the forefront. We that do the campaign, we don't talk. We are hardcore AAC. We are hardcore AAC. If I come around and say I want to support you, I want to support you based on merit. I'm not coming here to talk or support people who I know is going there to go and steal. You know, if you donate whatever you donate to people, let it be with you yourself. There's no point talking about it. The people know who is donating money, who is giving food, who is representing them. We don't mention names. We don't talk too much. The people that do things don't talk. Let the things they do speak for themselves. That's how it works. And there's no point pointing fingers to people. If you want to be a politician, if you want to go and contest, go home and do it. If you are supporting people, do it quietly. There's no point saying I'm the best in the game. No. We are the top of the rank. We don't talk. So relax and calm down. There's no point pointing fingers to anyone. But the question is this: if you want to be a governor of the state, show me your report card, and I will support you. Based on what you give to me is what I'm going to read. I will scrutinize it, and I will tell the people whether you are qualified or not. As far as I'm concerned, there's no legacy left in Edo State. The governor in there right now, who has been using Bangladesh or Sri Lanka people to build, renovate the secretariat, or what has he done? Use Bangladesh to build Ugbe Stadium or renovate Ugbe Stadium. What are we talking about here? People say we are this. What have you done? You know, when you see governors who doesn't give a damn about people, you know, governor who doesn't give a damn about people, they don't care. All they care is about their pocket. All we know that the Edo State Treasury is completely zero. All the money is gone. Over 20 billion has been spent in the twinkle of an eye. And someone will come and tell me the people, everything is safe in the state. Nothing is going well in that state. Even the so-called COVID-19, they are producing fake result, fake report every day. One thing they don't understand is this: the rest of the world will open. Africa, we're still going to be in a lockdown because why? We are not proactive. We are not representing. All we are doing is to give fake report and eat the money. For how long are we going to live inside sin? You know, how long shall we live inside sin? Or what a brother might die in sin. Also, word written in the Bible, limbo. Pastor are preaching, and Reverend are preaching, all for the sake of you and I, so that we may have eternal life. Yeah, the eternity is right here. If we're going to preach, let's preach what we can practice, not what we cannot. If you show me what you have done, then I will support you. I don't care what political party you belong to. Show me what you have done, then I will support you. Not what I'm seeing visibly with my eye. Security is the first thing a politician do for his people. If you don't, when you talk about security, it's just not about fighting Fulani herdsmen. Fulani, security is about giving to the people light, giving to the people roads, giving to the people infrastructural development. Those are all secured. If you have job, it's security. Criminals will go out of the street if there is production. You know, a government that cannot be able to even produce one fish pond. And somebody will tell me, all the agricultural amadi they give it to him has been left aside. Schools have been shut down and turned into market. And somebody is telling me, oh, the state is good. Come on, brothers and sisters, the state is not good. We have to be frank and sincere to ourselves. No matter how much we're going to twist the broom, a broom will still remain a broom. Whether you break it or you turn it to pieces, anybody that see a broom will recognize it is a broom. It doesn't matter how short, how long it is. A broom will always remain a broom. But the question is this: but because people just try as much as they can to deviate out of the issue. Everybody is fighting to go into the governor race. What did these people have in question? What are they? Is there a Yamo that is jumping from one political party or to the other? Is he the so-called my uncle Odubu, who has been there for 19 years? So we have to, these people need to sit down. Isaiah Yamu Odubu need to sit down, have a consensus meeting, just tell us what they want to prove, give to the people. One of them can be a vice and one of them can be a governor. The remaining aspirants should go and sit down at home. They don't have the only two credible people who I know can stand Obaseki in the election is Odubu and Isaiah Yamu. Those are only the two people there. And people say, oh, Mr. Odubu is too slow because it's of education. That's why he's too slow. And he did law and he doesn't want to break the law. That's why he's too slow. And that's why people are blaming him. He's too slow, He's not proactive. Or that's Mr. Okaku himself. Mr. Okaku need to start doing things very smart. Because you can see Pastor Jemu is using his preaching style. He's using his assembly style. He got his key to assemble people. He got his key to maneuver people. He got his key to do whatever he want to do because he's a pastor. He knows what to say to people. Mr. Dubu need to come out and tell people, start speaking, start talking. So all this hickey way is not going to help. They need to be proactive in forefront. In the forefront, if you want to become a governor, you need to be able to address crowd. You need to be able to talk to people and let people follow you. That's the way I see it. So there's no way we start twisting it here and there. There's no need to twisting it. Is there Yamu so far so good? He's on top of the ladder. He's there. So if anybody want to challenge him, you need to climb up to meet him. He's not doing underground job. Underground job does not bring a governorship candidate. People that are proactive, that are outside, that people are seeing is what bring a candidate. We all know that Nigerian politicians will tell you tell you A and they go and do B. Even sometimes they will go and do D. They will even cross C. So they will tell you they are going to employ 2,000 workers. At the end, they will only give job to Fulani herdsmen, and they will not give you job that they voted for them. Today, Kabaka and the like are having problem with Obaseki because why? The so-called Nigerian politicians, they don't believe in you supporting them. They believe when they sit on that chair, you that bring them to power, you are nonsense. You are nothing to them. They don't give a damn. So far, so good. That's what we call panicking in politics, panicking in media. Media has so far, Obaseki has so far used the media to his own gain because he have more than 160 people paid employee for it to do his propaganda, to do his damage propaganda on the people. So it's on there, it's on top of the ladder when he's doing propaganda. So people need to, Zay Jamu is the only one that has matched his propaganda so far. Even though Dubu is doing his groundwork, he need to come up and start doing his proactive talk. He need to start talking to people. I know Dubu is doing town hall meeting from time to place to places. Most of his town hall meeting is not being covered, so people don't know what he's doing. He's trying on his own level. The guy is so systematic. He know, even though he's slow, he's doing his damage control as well. But he need to come out and address the people and tell the people this is what. You don't need to go and gather up 10 people or 20 people. You need to go on the radio, go on the television, go on Facebook broadcast and tell the people, this is what I can do. This is what I have not done in my years in politics. This is how I'm going to correct it. You need to come out and be proactive. That's where I see it. For Isaiah Yamu, people say it's because he's a political prostitute. That's why he's having issues. Otherwise, he's a good Christian, and people believe his agenda. Shomole did a lot of damage to his political career, but the guy don't care. He has revamped it. He has made it straight. He has tell people this is what he's up to. So he's there on top of the food chain. So to bring him down now is all those old videos done by Shomole and people are using to campaign for Obaseki. It's not going to do the man no damage because he's a man of God. He believes in himself and he believes in the people. So people should understand that. So Dubu should match up with him. He should match up with him. I understand he's been complaining that he's been sidelined for so long, but that is not the question. If you've been sidelined for so long, maybe because you are not proactive enough. So be proactive. So people want to see your action. Action speak louder than voice. So I know you are doing your underground job, but that is not enough. You need to come out. You are my uncle. I'm talking to you. I know you're going to watch this video later. But the question is this: you need to be proactive. I've tried my best to let you guys know you get to be on top of the food ladder chain if you want to be in that position. You have done it before. You'll be there before. But to do it again, you're going to step up a little bit. Just a little bit. Step up a little bit. Then Jajamu can say it. Jajamu is using his Christian campaign, he's using his Christian connections, his fellowship connections to connect the whole state together and connect the whole nation together. So you need to match him up. He's been in Abuja so many times. Obaseki just returned from Abuja